Good afternoon. My name is Maria Asaf Kodikaran, and today I will be presenting my services action project titled Fights for Equality. The aim of my project is to spread awareness about three predominant issues: social, environmental, and political. My target audience is people between the ages of 15 to 18 with internet access. In the blog, I have covered three main topics: sexism, ableism, mental health, and mental health awareness. This has been done through a blog posted on Tumblr. Tumblr is a platform which can reach many people across the world. I chose this platform because I am familiar with the interface and this has an age demographic closest to my target audience. I also picked this platform because it has the required character limit for me to properly express my opinions, and it has the correct social atmosphere for me to properly express my opinions. This is a blog link and a few screenshots from my blog. Over the course of the next month or two, I will be covering the following topics: racism, homophobia, religious discrimination, transphobia, and I'll also be including a resource bank series with research on how people can help. The process that I followed is as follows. First, I had to create the blog itself, which involves creating several interactive sections and different sections for different topics. I then researched resources on various topics, and then I wrote articles based on those resources. I then created a form for readers to leave their comments so I could accurately gauge the impact that the blog had on the readers. Now on to the viewer demographics. The geographic demographic of the readers is as follows. The majority of the readers are from North America, with 36% being North American, and the least numbers of readers were from Africa, totaling at 5%. I believe that this is because a majority of Tumblr users are from North America and Europe, leading to the percentage of viewers being skewed towards North America and Europe. The gender demographics of the readers. 50% of the readers were women, 15% of the readers were men, and 35% of readers were people who identified as other genders. This may be because my sample size was smaller with 12 people in the sample. The age demographics of the readers. 75% of the readers were between the ages of 10 to 15, 20% of the readers were between the ages of 15 to 20, and 5% of the readers were ages 20 and above. This fits into the target audience that I had in mind for the project, since 75% of the readers were between the ages of 10 to 15, and 20% being between the 15 to 20, and only 5% being above the target audience that I had in mind. The overall viewer ratings are fairly positive, averaging at 7.8, the highest rating being 10 and the lowest rating being 6 on a scale from 1 to 10. This is a positive rating since my blog is not nearly as popular as some of the more well-known blogs amongst the thousands of blogs on Tumblr. The viewer interaction of the last month had a brief spike before quickly slowing down again. Over the course of the next month, I aim to make viewer interaction more consistent. Now, the impact on the target audience. This information was collected using the form which had been left at the end of the blog. And some of the responses collected from the readers to the comments left on the form are as follows. It makes me think about things that I wouldn't usually bother to consider. It offered me a new perspective on important issues across the globe. It made me stop and think about my own actions. So overall, I think that this blog helped bring about awareness about social issues in the readers' lives, which they would not have previously stopped to consider. Self-reflection. The blog was an interesting experience for me since I had to keep an upload schedule and learn how to generate traffic for a particular blog. However, the hardest part of the experience was deciding which beliefs I prescribed to. Since the blog covers several sensitive topics, it was pertinent that I only post and reblog items which were respectful and properly conveyed the message I was trying to send with the blog. Additionally, the blog forces you to think about things which do not directly impact me in my day-to-day life. And overall, it was a refreshing experience where I got to interact with many different people with many different opinions. I do not agree with all these opinions, but it's interesting to hear them all the same. Continuing on, the changes to be made. Even though this was a fun fun learning experience, I still believe that there are several changes which need to be made in order to make this blog even better, although it did meet all my project goals. Some of the changes I believe should be included include a more robust tagging system which would include trigger warnings, content warnings, and topic-wise tags. This would help readers filter out content which they find unpleasant, and it helps us find content which they want to interact with or they want to learn more about. I also believe that a proper topic-wise update schedule should be included, which will help drive up reader viewership and build a steady viewer base. More reader interactions through Ask Games and interacting with other similarly themed blogs will also help to drive up viewership. The lessons learned. I learned how to think critically and form my own opinions about topics. I learned how to engage readers and how to promote my own work. I learned how to promote my own work more efficiently. I learned how to use social media sites more effectively, drawing on personal experience and building up on that. The previous two skills will prove especially useful since I plan on promoting my own work on social media in the future. I also learned about the experiences of people across the world, and I learned how to respectfully debate topics which are important to me with people who hold different opinions and views. I believe that this helped me grow as a person. The ATL skills used. I used thinking skills since I had to think critically in order to form opinions and decide where I stood on important issues during debates. I used communication skills since I wrote short posts and articles that clearly and concisely reflected the topic which I was trying to portray. I used research skills since I had to research the sensitive topics on the blogs in order to form opinions and represent these topics respectfully. Social skills. I interacted with people who had personally experienced some of the issues on my blog and then featured their experiences on the blog. I also use self-management skills since I maintain an upload schedule and I moderated the blog entirely by myself. The global context. The global context of fairness and development was used because it means the IB gives a definition as rights and responsibilities, the relationship between communities, sharing finite resources with other people and with other living things, access to equal opportunities, peace and conflict resolution, inequality, difference and inclusion, rights, law, civic responsibility and the public sphere, as well as imagining a hopeful future. This blog was chosen with the global context of fairness and development because it is directly related to inequality and the struggle for equality. This is the main focal point of my blog. Rights, laws, and civic responsibilities also a big part of the project. Therefore, this felt like a fitting GC to use. Finally, fairness and development includes imagining a hopeful future. My blog aims to help people do that by suggesting changes which can be made and pointing out the problems in our current society. The key concept. The IB defines change as a conversion, transformation, or movement from one form, state, or value to another. Inquiry into the concept of change involves understanding and evaluating causes, processes, and consequences. Change is an important factor in the aims of the blog, so in order to achieve equality, there needs to be change, and this blog attempts to do that. This blog has helped me change my perspectives, and I believe that I have become more empathetic and I've learned how to be more reasonable and more rational when debating emotionally charged topics. Now, finally, for the related concepts used. I use the related concepts of perspective and cooperation. According to the IB, perspective is the way someone looks at something, taking into consideration all of the things that happened with that thing in the past, and the relationship between the viewer and that thing in the past being viewed. This is related to the blog because the blog helps me to consider different perspectives from people in many different scenarios. I have learned to look at issues through different lenses, not directly jumping to conclusions regarding how I perceive a problem should be solved. I use the related concept of cooperation, since cooperation is defined as the action or process of individuals or societies working together towards the same end. Cooperation can also be a catalyst for change or continuity. Cooperation between actors implies certain levels of responsibility. This is related to my blog because I learned how to collaborate with different content creators in order to create a holistic portrait of the issue which do not generalize or stereotype a group of people. I also learned how to respectfully and rationally learn about and debate other people's perspectives in a manner that understood their points and could defend my own points. Thank you for viewing my presentation, and I hope that you will check out my blog and review it.